Hello and welcome back to my channel and another episode of my Sims 2 Uberhood. So today we're here with Nina Caliente. Last time we saw Nina was in Don Lothario's episode where they had a lot of woohoo and yet she managed to evade pregnancy every time. So I'm curious to see if she can keep that track record up this week or whether she's going to end up doing a Bella Goth and getting herself knocked up. I kind of hope she does get pregnant because I've never played Nina as a mother before. So that would be something new to me and quite interesting, I think. Before we get into it though, I've got a little bit of setting up to do with her. The only thing I want to do with her is give her a secondary aspiration because I don't want to give her a degree. I don't feel like she needs one. So I've done my aspiration calculator with her and her secondary aspiration is knowledge, which I've played her as before. It sort of feels unusual straight away when you think about it. But actually in terms of her personality, she's quite shy, neat, serious. You know, she does have all the hallmarks of a knowledge sim. It almost feels a little bit odd that her primary aspiration is romance, to be honest, but it is. So yeah, that's all I want to do to her to get her set up. I like to let them re-roll their wants first thing in the week because quite often they update with their secondary aspiration as well as anything that may have happened between now and the last time we played them. And yeah, she does have a want to woohoo with 3 different sims. But other than that, most of her wants are pretty, I want to say knowledge based, but I guess you could say the exercise machine is a skill building want and she does want to get a job. So I'm just having Nina come and build her charisma skill. I think we'll just work on her skills tonight and then see what she wants to get up to in the morning when we'll have a bit more time to potentially, if she has any, fulfill any romance wants. It's interesting because I do remember last time I played Nina, she ended up basically just becoming a knowledge sim, even though she still had the romance aspiration as her primary. Almost all of her wants, if not all of her wants, are pretty knowledge based. She wanted to build skills. I remember she did a lot of reading like the self-help books. I even remember she got a bird and she does have a want now to buy a bird cage. So it's kind of strange that even in a completely new Uberhood, she's still got the same kind of want. She's still, doing the same kind of thing. So I'm curious to see if this week she acts a bit more like a romance sim or if she does exactly what she did last time, which is behave in a very knowledge-based way. Because Bella, I think we can all agree, acted very much like a romance sim last episode. And her and Nina have the same aspiration combination because they're both primary romance sims with secondary knowledge. So yeah, it's just interesting how the game decides who wants what because there's clearly some way that it decides it that's a bit more sophisticated than random. One thing that I do know is going to be the same is I do know there is a scripted event for this household tonight. I could buy an alarm preemptively, but it's fine. Nina will be up anyway, so she can call the police. I could call the police preemptively, tell them that I've got insider intel that I'm going to get burgled tonight. Nina's energy bar is actually really high. I don't know how it's so high. So she's going to have no issue staying up late tonight. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so let's have Nina come and call the police because she's obviously spotted Russ Bear coming in from outside. Look at him in his non-suspicious outfit. I also wonder, because I noticed when I was loading in earlier on and just refreshing my memory by looking through all of her panels and everything, that she really doesn't like Gordon King, which implies that this has happened before. It implies that the Calientes get burgled a lot. I feel like there's some story there, I just can't figure out quite what it is. But anyway, we'll call the police. It's not even Gordon King this time, it's somebody else, and he is sneaking right past us. Where's he heading? Not the hot tub, come on Russ. Oh no, he's going upstairs, he's going for the hot tub, isn't he? I don't think you need to sneak anymore. I think we're aware you're here. Alright, let's see who wins. It probably would help if he brought backup or something, wouldn't it? Rather than just having to tussle with a burglar on his own, but... Oh, but he won though, so that's good. Alright, so we got 500 simoleons for helping the police track down a known criminal. So not bad going at all. Basically made a profit and didn't even lose anything. I appreciate him waiting so patiently in the car whilst the policeman came in to talk to us. So let's have Nina head to bed, get her nice and rested for the morning, see if she still wants to skill build or see if she wants to do something else. It's so interesting because once again Nina's wants are all entirely knowledge based. It's very strange how Bella didn't do that and yet Nina did that last Uberhood and this one as well. And she does also, despite it being a new day, still want to buy a birdcage. And again, she did that last Uberhood as well. So you know what, I am going to do it. I am going to buy a birdcage. Because part of me feels like it doesn't really make sense for Nina, but at the same time, she did it last Uberhood, she's doing it now as well. Maybe she just does really like birds. I mean, in her interest, she's got a very high interest in animals. So I guess that does make sense then. It's one of those things that on the surface doesn't feel relevant, but she does actually love animals, so it would make sense that she'd want one. So I think it would be kind of fitting. I know it's the same thing I did in my last Uberhood, so if you've been around for a while and you saw that, I think it would be fitting to reunite Nina with Poncho and buy him back. So truth be told, I can't remember what colour Poncho was, but I'm making an assumption that if I can't remember, nobody else can remember either, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to roll the random number generator, and it's rolled a 2, so it's going to be a red parrot. It's going to be Poncho 2.0 if it's not the same colour as the original. And if anybody's wondering why I'm calling him Poncho, it's because the naming system I'm going with for pets, at least the ones who don't come pre-named, is Animal Crossing characters. So here we go, here's Poncho. And much like last episode, Nina is immediately obsessed with him, which I cannot blame her. Like I said, it doesn't seem on the surface like it makes sense, but she loves animals. She always seems to want to get a bird in my Uberhoods. I just feel like Poncho is her true soulmate. Forget Don Lothario, Poncho is where it's at. Oh, look who's at the door. Don Lothario has rung the doorbell. Let's come and invite him in, see if he wants to come meet our new bird. Hopefully, while they haven't re-rolled yet, hopefully Don's presence will make Nina roll some romantic ones. Maybe it's just the case that she is a really smart person and she does enjoy studying and learning and all of that, but when somebody's here and she remembers that they exist, that's when she becomes more romantic. No, she's got some fears about rejection, but her wants are still entirely knowledge-based other than wanting to buy new clothes. That's really interesting. She'd rather see a ghost than she would do anything romantic with Don Lothario, even though he's just downstairs. I know that I could obviously forget her wants and push something myself, but I like sticking to their wants, ironically because I feel it gives it more variety. I find when I used to play as a teenager and I didn't pay attention to their wants at all, I found it very easy to fall into the trap of having everybody get married and have 2 kids. So even though sometimes you end up with situations like this where it doesn't quite feel correct almost when Nina is so heavily based on knowledge, I like that it pushes me to think about things a bit differently. I like that it pushes me to maybe see Sims in a light that I hadn't initially seen them. And like I said, she did this last Uberhood as well, so she's pretty consistent with the knowledge based wants. So I know part of it is just because I keep fulfilling them, but like I said before, Bella didn't do this at all, so that can't be the whole story. Because with Bella, the second there was a man within a 2-mile radius of her, she wanted to flirt with him, no matter what his marriage status was. But yeah, Nina's just not interested. Okay, so she hasn't really done a whole lot with Don today, which is fine. I'm going to leave them to their own devices tonight. We're just going to have Nina make some food for the pair of them. And then yeah, I haven't looked in any wants, so I'm hoping that she gets a full re-roll in the morning. Interestingly, even when I'm leaving her to her own devices, she's not actually really interacted with Don at all. Like, he keeps queuing up actions for her, but they're not coming from her, which I find really interesting. It's almost like she's not actually that bothered. I get the feeling she's more indifferent about this relationship than I thought she would be. I mean, like I said, he's all over her, but she keeps going to do other things, and he interrupts her because he wants to interact with her, but she's just not bothered. I wonder if she sort of realises that he's not good boyfriend material, and so she's just, like, it doesn't bother her much that he's with other women, but maybe it's just a case of she's kind of indifferent about the relationship in general. I feel like Nina shouldn't really be a romance sim at all, to be honest. It doesn't seem to fit her at all. Anyway, let's send Dawn home and have her head to bed in her single bed that she can't woohoo in, which is another really odd choice in terms of whoever built the house, you know, to give the romance sim a single bed. That being said, she has re-rolled her wants this morning, so I'm absolutely going to lock in that date once. I guess maybe seeing Don yesterday, even though she wasn't initially interested in him all that much, maybe it sparked some memories of why she fell in love with him in the first place. And while her wants are still very heavily skill-based, maybe it's inspired her to want to inject some romance back into their life and just have some fun again. Although I don't know what Don's work hours are. I don't know if he'll be at work today or not, so it might be that we have to do it later in the day, but we'll give it a try first thing, see if he is around, because it might be a day off. I can't remember what his schedule is. Alright, so let's see if he's around. The want's fulfilled, so I'm assuming that's a yes. It sure is. So let's invite him over here. He's on his way. Alright, here he is. So let's have Nina go and greet him before she pees herself. And as usual, their wants are all pretty platonic. They always seem to start platonic, even when then we know the date very well, which is interesting. I'm assuming it's because dating is supposed to be for potential new relationships, so they've sort of got to build up, but these two know each other inside out very well, literally, and they can probably just get straight down to it, but that's fine. They can just hang out for a little bit, although they have quite quickly started rolling wants to make out, so maybe they're not starting that slowly. Now with Bella, the want to make out immediately led to woohoo wants, and it has with Nina as well. That's good to know. So I guess we better buy Nina a double bed then. Alright, so we have upgraded Nina to a double bed, so let's come and have her relax. Now, in Don's episode, I can't remember how many times, but they woohooed like 4 times or something, and she didn't get pregnant. Now, clearly with the romance sims, because my risky woohoo wads are at 10%, and because they seem to want to do it so much, over their lifetime, there is probably a higher chance than not of them having babies, but that's done intentionally, because I don't want all of my romance sims to just never become parents. I really, really want Nina to get pregnant. I've never played her as a mother. I just think it'd be really interesting. And I also really want Don to have a baby as well. So this would be perfect for me. Not for them, clearly, but for me, it'd be perfect for them to get pregnant from this, because I don't know that I've ever really had Don have children either, because for a long time I didn't play with risky woohoo. So I don't know that I've ever had either of these become parents. So for both of them to at the same time would be perfect. So I'm really hoping that luck is not on their side today, and I'm really hoping to hear the jingle at the end of this. So let's have them head up to the bed and see what happens. Alrighty, so woohoo. Let's see how lucky she really is. I wonder if they're going to get another cutscene. No, I suppose they don't need one because they would have had one at Don's house, but I didn't know if it depended on the house that they get a new one in a new house or anything. I didn't know. I'm waiting. No, nothing. Damn, she's so lucky. Well, hopefully that won't be the last time. They've still got 5 hours left of the dates, so they've got a few more tries to knock her up. That's my only goal. Get Nina pregnant without actually just trying for a baby. So her wants with Don are still pretty romantic, so I'm going to go ahead and make out again because that seems to be the one that triggers wanting to woohoo. I'm going to try and influence this as much as I can while still being able to plausibly deny that I'm having any influence. Oh wow, crazy, look, she wants to woohoo again. Who'd have thought it? Well, let's have them go for round 2. I'm genuinely tense, I don't know why. I'm like, I really want this to happen, but she seems to keep evading it every single time. Alright, moment of truth. No, wow. Damn, she's so safe. You're just not going to let me have this, Dina, are you? I mean, the date's still not over. There is still 3 hours, but we'll see. She is starting to get hungry now as well, though, so it is definitely possible that it just won't happen. Oh, but now she wants to woohoo in public. I mean, change of scenery might help his swimmers come out to play. You never know. So I've gone away and I've had a look for somewhere with a hot tub because I still can't make photo booth woohoo work in this game. I don't know why. We have been going to the gym in Blue Water Village, but I thought for a change of scenery, there's actually a hot tub in Strangetown. So we're going to go over there and have some public woohoo there. Now, of course, this is risky because Dawn is with Kaylin and Dina still. Either one of them could show up. But I imagine Nina's probably not aware of this. While I don't think she would mind him being with Kaylin, I don't think he's been explicitly clear that that is what's happening. So he's definitely taking a risk by going out in public. I don't think that she is really aware that this is risky, but I guess we'll have to see if anyone's there who shouldn't be. So yeah, the hot tub is all the way back here. So let's have them come and get in it. Oh wait, I forgot that Nina's really hungry. Like I said, I literally went away and was spending quite a while looking for a hot tub. So that completely fell out my mind. I've just noticed that now. It's fine. Maybe she'll stay. Oh no, is Jessica Picasso going to join us? She is. Jess, you may not want to stay for this. It's okay. To be fair, Nina's getting out anyway. I did expect that. That's fine. Well, we'll have her get something to eat and then we'll come back to it. Although I say that, but I think the date's probably going to finish before we get around to it. But that's okay. That's not the end of the world. So it was a dream date. Dawn says, holy cow, I never knew a date could be that much fun. You're a total dream to spend time with. We just got to do that again, baby. So Dawn is still actually here, even though the date's over. And Nina does still have the want to public woohoo. So we might see if we can do it anyway. Usually they leave after the date's over, but he's still here. So yeah, we'll get in the hot tub, see if he wants to join us. After she's eaten a hot dog, of course. Cassandra's here. Oh no. It's okay, they're not actually together anymore, but this is probably going to hurt her. She did really struggle with being left at the altar. Maybe she's over it now. I mean, she's moved on, she's got married. It's probably been a few years at this point, so maybe she's over it. Oh, that's weird. I can't ask Don to join us anymore. I think this ends up being the options when they're literally just leaving. So even though he looks like he's still here, maybe he's actually on his way out. It's fine. Nina can go soak in the hot tub on her own anyway. Yeah, he's put some clothes on. He's off. Oh, I'm going to have Nina hang out here for a couple of hours. I'm just going to let her do what she wants, see if she autonomously introduces herself to anybody, and then we'll have her head home. And let's have her head to bed. So I'm actually not going to lock in any of her wants tonight. I'm going to wait till the morning, see what she rolls in the morning, and let her decide if tomorrow is going to be a knowledge day or a romance day. Bit of both, it looks like. So she does want to go on another date, so I am tempted to do that again. I know that it's kind of repetitive, but it's the dates that push them to get the wants that are actually going to potentially get Nina pregnant. Not that that's what I'm trying to do necessarily, but it also kind of is. So, like I said before, I'm going to do as much as I can to push her in that direction without actually just having her a try for a baby. Although, to be fair, I don't actually know if Don's got the day off today, because if he was around yesterday, it might be that he's not around today. But we can certainly ask and see. It looks like he's around. It might be that he works a bit later in the day, or it might just be that dates don't adhere to working hours like phone calls do. I don't know. Doesn't really matter why he's around, he's around. So as usual, we're just going to do some friendly things first. Give him a little tickle. Get them in the mood, I guess. Is that how this works? I don't know, apparently. That's strange. I want to get in more knowledge based. I'm fulfilling the Don related ones, just to chat and stuff, but she's not getting romantic today. She just wants to learn physiology, although I think that she wants to study it from a book as opposed to on Don, and gain a skill point. And yeah, she's just rolling away from Don once. So this might not end up getting romantic at all. Yeah, I'm tempted to just call this date off. I don't think Nina's in the mood today, even though she's the one who asked for it. It's almost like she woke up and said today is going to be a romance day, but now that she's actually doing it, she thinks it's maybe more of a knowledge day. So yeah, maybe we'll just call the date off and go and do some studying. So I've actually locked in for Nina to learn physiology. I feel like it makes sense for her. I know that this is a very common want and arguably kind of annoying, but fitness is her favourite hobby, so it makes sense for her. I think that she would be interested in studying that, especially given that she's in knowledge secondary. It would be something she's interested in learning about. I don't know if she'll get it all done today, but she might. She's already made pretty good progress on it, to be fair. Amazingly, I think she actually is going to complete it today. She's so close. I guess the book's not as long as I thought it was. Alright, and she's done it. So she's learned all about physiology, which will help her with both her fitness and her romantic pursuits. I find it interesting how well balanced of a romance knowledge sim Nina is, because even though she's got the same primary and secondary aspirations as Bella last episode, it's like each day, some days she wants to do romance, some days she wants to study, whereas Bella, I don't think I really saw any studying. I mean, she did do a little bit of skill building for her job, but it was extremely secondary to her primary aspiration, whereas Nina, it's more like 50-50. And she doesn't even have a job to study for, so she really is just studying for the love of it. I almost got the impression that Bella's knowledge was almost more like fortune-y in nature. It was more studying for the sake of getting somewhere as opposed to just because she likes it. But yeah, not with Nina. Alright, let's have Nina head to bed and see what she's feeling like in the morning. Once again, I've not locked in any wants. I'll let her decide first thing tomorrow. Okay, that's an interesting bunch. We've got another want to go on a date, which I think I will fulfill, for the same reasons as yesterday. I'm just hoping that she's feeling a bit more up to it today. But then we've also got a want to jump rope, which I suppose is part of her fitness hobby, but she also wants to buy an MP3 player, which feels a little bit random. Yeah, I think we'll do the date first again, and hopefully she's feeling a bit more up to it today and actually wants to get romantic with Don. I'm still trying to get her pregnant this week. So you know the drill by now. We'll call him up, ask him out. He can come over here, and he's on his way. So we'll wait for him to arrive. Here he is. And then we'll do some friendly interactions and see if Nina gets in the mood. And hopefully, today these friendly interactions become romantic ones as opposed to just becoming study ones. No biggie if they don't. Of course, I want to follow what Nina wants to do. But personally, I hope they do. Because I don't know if I've made it clear yet. I feel like I've kept a lid on it and been really subtle about it. But I really want Nina and Don to have a baby together. I know I haven't mentioned it, but that is what I would like. Interestingly, she does have a fear of getting caught two-timing, which is interesting because she's not at the moment. I'm not saying she never will, although to be fair, I think that her and Don have an open relationship anyway. I don't think either of them think they're exclusive. But it's just an interesting fear to have when she's not with anybody else anyway. Maybe she's sort of fearful on Don's behalf. Maybe she's aware that he's with other people and she's worried about people judging her. Maybe she's worried that people are going to think that she's a homewrecker because she knows what Don's like. Maybe she doesn't know that he's with somebody who's with somebody else, but she knows what he's like. So maybe she's worried that getting involved with a man who doesn't seem to have any issues getting involved with married people, maybe she thinks that if they get caught, people are going to think badly of her. So the good news is that Nina does seem to be a bit more in the mood today. She did initially start rolling some skill building wants, but the romance wants seem to have taken over now, so she does already have a want to woohoo. So today's date seems to be going a lot better than yesterday's. Alright, so we're officially on a dream date, so let's have them head down to the bed and woohoo. Gamble with Nina's fertility again and cross our fingers that this time she gets pregnant, because she's been incredible at evading it so far. Kaylin Langerak and Chloe Curious really need to take a leaf out of her book. Alright, so let's have them woohoo and see what happens. Please, Nina, don't let me down. I swear, if she doesn't get pregnant from this, I don't know what to do. Well, I do know what to do, but I'll be surprised. No, still no. Oh my god. Wow, okay. I guess for some people it's just never going to happen. Maybe I just need to let this go and give up. I so badly want a Nina and Don baby. I mean, there's still 4 hours left, so we've still got plenty of time. Well, I guess let's just carry on having them fulfill some wants. She doesn't currently have the want to woohoo again, but if we keep doing some romantic things, she might re-roll it again. Alright, make out. That's always a good one to try and encourage a woohoo want. So let's have them make out again. And are we going to get one? Yes, perfect. Right. Back down to the bed. Nina, we're not leaving this house until you get pregnant. All right, so let's woohoo. Again, I've just noticed how hungry Nina is, so she might well get up before we get the chance. And if she does, well, I guess we'll just have to feed her. That's what you're supposed to do when someone's hungry, isn't it? But we'll see if we can get them to woohoo before that. Because if she gets pregnant, then I don't care what happens. So we'll see if we can get that in before she gets up. All right, she's going to do it. Okay. Come on, Nina. Apparently her hunger's going down. I didn't realise woohoo drained their hunger like that. No wonder she gets so hungry on dates. Anything? No. Wow, how is she this lucky? I can't believe it. She's dodged this bullet so many times. She's more at risk of starving to death on a date than she is of getting pregnant from one. And on that note, I think I'll leave this episode here. Somehow, Nina has escaped pregnancy once again, which is honestly pretty impressive considering how much woohoo she had both this episode and last time with Don Lothario. I'm curious to see if she's going to manage that for the rest of her life or if she is going to get pregnant at some point, because she is still pretty young. So there's definitely still time for an oopsie baby. I know it would really cause issues for her, but I really want one. Next episode, we're heading over to the Broke household, which I think will be a nice change of pace. We've had a couple of more romance-based sims, so getting back to some family gameplay I think will be nice. So if you were here, thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe if you wanna, and I will see you soon.